Let's be real for a second. Losing a job is incredibly tough. It can leave you feeling kind of lost, wondering what on earth to do next. But hey, you are absolutely not in this alone. We put this explainer together to act as your personal roadmap, to cut through all the noise and give you clear, simple steps to get right back on track. So you lost your job. Okay, take a deep breath. Let's dive right in. The very first thing is just understanding the system that's here to support you. We're going to walk through this whole thing together, step by step, so you know exactly what's coming, what you need to do, and who can help. Here's our game plan for today. 1. The financial bridge. 2. Filing your RA claim. 3. Your weekly checklist. 4. Free job service support. And 5. Who to call for help. Let's start with Section 1. The financial bridge. First things first, we gotta talk about the money. Now, this isn't meant to be a long-term solution. Think of it more like a really sturdy bridge to support you financially while you make your way to your next great job. So what exactly is reemployment assistance, or RA? Well, it's a temporary income program for folks who lost their job through no fault of their own. Like a company layoff. And here is the absolutely crucial part. It's funded completely by taxes that your old employers paid. Seriously, not a single cent for this ever came out of your paycheck. But it's just as important to know what this program isn't. It is not welfare, and it's not public assistance. It's definitely not a disability program, and it's completely separate from Social Security. Actually, it's a very specific type of insurance for unemployment, which basically means your eligibility is tied directly to your own recent work history. Moving on to Section 2, filing your RA claim. Okay, let's get down to it. This is your first real action item. It's where you grab the reins and get the ball rolling by officially filing your claim. Now remember, you can only file after your last day of work has completely passed. Honestly, the absolute easiest way to do this is online at raclaims.sd.gov. The site is up and running 24/7. But if you prefer talking to a human, you can also call during normal business hours. Oh, and it's super helpful to know that translation services are available if you need them. All right, now for the million-dollar question, right? How much can you actually get? Well, in South Dakota, the weekly benefit amount can be anywhere from $28 up to $575. Now, your specific amount is going to be calculated based on what you earned over the last year and a half, so everyone's a little different, but this gives you a pretty good ballpark idea. And just a quick side note, those numbers actually get updated every July. So, how exactly do they figure out if you even qualify? Well, the system basically looks back at your work history and your earnings over the last year and a half. That's the formula they use to determine if you're eligible and exactly how much you're going to receive. It really is all about your recent work. Understanding the timeline here is super important, mostly just so you're not anxiously checking your bank account every single morning. Because let me tell you, this whole process isn't instant. Right after you file, you'll get a packet in the mail. Definitely make sure you actually read it. Then, over the next few weeks, they're going to verify your info and reach out to your old boss. The main takeaway for you? Just be patient. You're probably looking at a solid 3 to 4 weeks before you get a decision and see that first payment. All right, Section 3, your weekly checklist. As soon as you file that claim, there are a few little things you got to do each week to keep those benefits flowing. But don't worry, it's not some massive hassle. Just think of it as a super simple 3-item checklist that you tick off every week. Number 1, you have to be able and available to start a new job. Number 2, you've got to apply for at least 2 suitable jobs every single week. And 3, if you actually get a suitable job offer, you have to take it. Yep, that's literally it. Consistently hitting these 3 points is the absolute key to keeping everything on track. Okay, listen up close for a second because this is a really crucial detail that honestly trips a ton of people up. South Dakota's state law actually requires that your very first eligible week is what they call an unpaid waiting week, meaning you will not get a payment for that specific week. But, and this is the vital part, you absolutely still have to file your weekly request for it anyway. If you skip filing for that unpaid week, you're going to end up missing out on your actual benefit payments down the line. Let's look at a quick example together to see how things like severance pay can impact your timeline. Let's say Jane here got let go, and she was paid out for 80 hours of severance, plus another 40 hours of unused vacation time. Well, you add that up, and that's 120 hours total. The system looks at those 120 hours as 3 40-hour work weeks of pay. Because of that, Jane's benefits won't even start ticking until after those 3 weeks are entirely up. Make sense? Next up, Section 4, free job service support. So, we've spent a lot of time talking about that financial bridge, But the ultimate destination here is landing a fantastic new job, right? Let's pivot to the really proactive stuff. South Dakota has this amazing, empowering support system set up to help you find your next role. This is where you really start moving forward. And guys, the state's job service is way more than just some basic website with a few job listings. It's an entire support system broken down into 4 key areas: building your skills, prepping you for interviews, actively finding jobs, and providing ongoing support. And the absolute best part? The whole shebang is totally free. Let's dig into how they actually get you ready. You can sit down for one-on-one help to make your resume and cover letter really pop. You can practice your interview skills in mock sessions so you walk into the real deal feeling totally confident. They even offer tuition help if you decide it's time to pivot and get a brand new certification. And they don't just prep you, they actively help you find the work. You get paired up with your very own employment specialist who acts as a mentor, helps you build a career plan, points you toward opportunities on the SD Works platform, and can even help cover the cost of things like tools or transportation once you finally land that job. And finally, Section 5, who to call for help. Wow, we have definitely covered a ton of ground today. So for our last section together, let's keep it super simple but super important. We just want to make sure you know exactly who to call and for what. There are basically 2 totally different teams you might need to talk to. For anything having to do with your claim itself, like questions about your payments, your eligibility, that sort of thing, you're going to call reemployment assistance. But for everything else related to your actual job hunt, like resume help, career advice, and the real job search support, you're going to contact Job Service. Knowing the difference right out of the gate is going to save you a ton of time and hassle. You know, this might feel like the end of our explainer, but really, it's your beginning. You've got the map, you know the exact steps, and you've got a whole team of people at the state ready to back you up. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. You have the map, the steps, and the backing team. Are you ready to go find your next great opportunity? Because it is definitely out there waiting for you, and now you've got the tools to go out and grab it.